In this video, we'll walk through the first steps in creating a strategy and cover off some of the basics of using the Arconomy Rules Editor. Start by clicking Create Strategy from the Build Strategy screen. For this demo, we'll build a basic strategy based on the 3 white soldiers candle pattern, a classic bullish candlestick formation made up of 3 consecutive green candles. Once you have created the strategy, you'll be taken into the Rules Editor screen. This is your workbench where you can define the logical components that drive the behavior of your strategy. There is a canvas area to drag, drop, and configure rules, and a side menu to select the rules to add. The first thing you'll see is the account state rule. All strategies must have at least one. The account state rules determine the broker accounts that can be used by trading rules in the strategy. Let's walk through how a rule is structured and configure the account state rule. Every rule consists of 4 main components. Initial state. This controls whether a rule is enabled or disabled when the strategy starts. Typically, rules are enabled by default. A rule only executes if it is enabled. There is also a switch that determines whether other rules are allowed to reset the data for this rule. When rule data is reset, it means all the input values and calculated data for the rule will be set to their initial values before the rule executed. In some cases, you may want a rule's data to persist when other rules are reset. Input data. These are the parameters the rule will use when it executes. For the account state rule, we need to configure each of them. First, select the account we want the strategy to trade on. Next, set the margin limit. For trading on margin accounts, this value defines the maximum margin this specific strategy is allowed to use. If while trading the margin limit is exceeded, the strategy will stop opening new positions, but it will not close existing ones. Your broker will close open positions across your account to reduce the margin used if your available free margin falls below a defined percentage of your capital. This is referred to as a margin call by the broker. You should maintain sufficient capital in your account and manage the risk in your strategy rules to avoid this. Set the risk amount. This is the total capital you're willing to risk across all trades in this strategy. Think of it as an aggregate stop loss across the entire strategy. If the risk amount is reached, then the strategy will close all positions, cancel outstanding orders, and stop running. These input parameters ensure that the strategy operates within your predefined risk boundaries and does not impact other strategies running on your account. Account rules are special and do not require execution logic to trigger, so we will cover execution logic and the after execution steps in other videos. Output data. This section shows a list of all the data that a rule will publish when it executes. The output data from one rule can be used as input data or in execution logic by other rules. That's it. Once the account state rule is saved, your strategy is valid and we can start adding the trading behavior required.